For decades, California suburbs were the last refuge of the American dream. Wide streets, fresh schools, sunshine, safety, and square footage, far from the chaos of the cities. But in 2025, that dream is collapsing. From the cliffs of San Clemente to the wine valleys of Santa Rosa, California's most beloved suburbs are caught in a crisis. Prices are plunging, insurance is exploding, and the migration that once fueled their rise has reversed. These are the communities that once symbolized success. Now, they're the front lines of California's housing collapse. This is Discover the Nation, and today we're counting down the top 10 suburbs in California facing a housing collapse. Stay until the end, because even the richest zip codes are no longer safe.
Number 10. Chula Vista. At number 10, Chula Vista, the pride of San Diego's South Bay, is now sinking under the weight of its own boom. Once celebrated as one of the fastest-growing cities in California, Chula Vista thrived on optimism. During the pandemic, migration from Los Angeles and Orange County transformed it from a quiet family suburb into one of Southern California's most frenzied real estate markets. Between 2020 and 2022, home prices soared a staggering 68%, fueled by low interest rates, military stability, and an influx of remote workers seeking affordability with coastal access. But by 2025, the tide has turned, fast and fierce. Median prices have tumbled 14% in a single year, and the number of listings has more than doubled. Builders who once had waiting lists are now offering every incentive in the book: free solar panels, mortgage buydowns, and even prepaid HOA dues just to get buyers through the door. Rising property taxes, higher insurance premiums, and HOA fees topping $600 a month have erased the affordability edge Chula Vista was once known for. The dream of home ownership here now costs an average of $4,200 a month, far beyond what most local families can afford. Even the city's long-standing military presence, once its economic backbone, is beginning to fade as service members relocate to cheaper regions like Las Vegas, Phoenix, and Texas suburbs. And it's not just economics, it's sentiment. Streets that once buzzed with construction crews now echo with uncertainty. For sale signs sit in yards longer than ever. The optimism that built Chula Vista has turned into hesitation. Chula Vista's story is the California story, a tale of ambition, acceleration, and collapse. The dream of affordability became a debt trap, and the momentum that built this city is now the same force dragging it down.
Number 9. Burbank. Hollywood's quieter cousin is losing its spotlight. Burbank, home to Disney, Warner Bros., and the very heart of American entertainment, was once seen as untouchable. The city thrived on production money, creative professionals, and the reliable flow of studio salaries. For decades, its tree-lined neighborhoods and mid-century charm offered stability even when the rest of Los Angeles swung wildly. But 2025 has rewritten the script. Median home prices have fallen nearly 13%, and luxury listings in the hills of Burbank and Toluca Lake are sitting untouched. The slowdown isn't just in numbers, it's in mood. The once bustling open houses where agents hosted catered events now stand empty, with price reductions coming week after week. The entertainment industry's transformation has hit Burbank hardest. Streaming cutbacks, AI integration, and production outsourcing have hollowed out the workforce that once sustained the city. With major studios tightening budgets and fewer on-site jobs, the flow of new buyers has dried up. Even more painful are the growing costs of ownership. Wildfire risk in the foothills has caused insurance premiums to double, in some cases exceeding $10,000 annually. Property taxes, energy bills, and maintenance costs have surged, leaving even affluent residents reconsidering their routes. Local businesses feel it too. Coffee shops, furniture stores, and neighborhood delis report declining traffic as homeowners cut spending. What was once a lively, tight-knit community now feels cautious, almost paused in time. The studios still sparkle and the palm trees still sway, but behind the curtain, Burbank's housing market feels like an empty set. Polished, expensive, and waiting for an audience that may never return. The city that built dreams for others is now fighting to hold on to its own.
Number 8. Calabasas. At number 8, Calabasas, the celebrity enclave once synonymous with luxury, status, and absolute security, is quietly crumbling behind its guarded gates. For years, Calabasas was untouchable, a fortress of wealth where A-listers, executives, and athletes could live above the chaos of Los Angeles. During the pandemic, its exclusivity became its selling point. Prices exploded, with estates once listed at $3 million selling for over $4 million in bidding wars. But in 2025, those same properties are languishing on the market for months and often selling for less than they cost to build. The numbers are sobering. Home values have dropped by nearly 18% from their peak. Luxury buyers have vanished, retreating to tax-friendly states like Nevada and Texas. Cash purchases, once the norm, have slowed dramatically, and lenders are tightening terms even for high-net-worth borrowers. The costs of ownership here are staggering. Annual property taxes regularly exceed $35,000, and insurance for hillside mansions has surged into the $15,000 to $25,000 range as wildfire risks increase. Add in $1,000 a month HOA dues and the expense of private security, and even millionaires are starting to ask, is it worth it? For many, the answer is no. The once tight-knit luxury community feels hollow. Local agents report that buyers are cautious and sellers are desperate. Some celebrity homeowners have quietly moved on, slashing prices just to escape the burden. This isn't just a correction. It's a cultural shift. Calabasas was built on image, on the promise of exclusivity and safety. But in 2025, exclusivity has become isolation, and the silence in those gated canyons is deafening. Realtors are calling it the Kardashian correction, a market that once thrived on fame, now defined by retreat. The suburb that built its identity on being untouchable has learned that no amount of privacy can protect you from gravity.
Number 7. Tustin. Once marketed as the affordable Irvine, Tustin was supposed to be the balanced answer to Orange County's runaway housing costs, a blend of comfort, innovation, and suburban charm. But in 2025, that balance has collapsed. The city's ambitious developments around Tustin Legacy and the district promised next-generation living: smart homes, sustainable design, rooftop views, and walking access to cafes, fitness studios, and tech co-working hubs. For a brief moment, it worked. Young professionals poured in, prices climbed, and developers couldn't build fast enough. But when interest rates soared and tech layoffs hit, that momentum vanished almost overnight. Median prices are down 12% year over year. HOA dues averaging $500 a month and property taxes topping $1,200 have made affordable luxury an illusion. Even mid-tier buyers, engineers, nurses, small business owners are being priced out. Many who bought in 2021 are now watching their equity vanish, forced to rent out their homes at a loss. Developers who banked on an endless flow of tech workers and out-of-state buyers are stuck with half-empty blocks. Rows of nearly identical townhomes sit in eerie silence, their coming-soon flags faded by the California sun. Even more concerning is the sentiment shift. Local agents say showings are quiet, open houses are lonely, and sellers are panicking. The rental market isn't faring better. Luxury units that once commanded $4,000 a month now struggle to find tenants at $3,200. Tustin's dream of balance, comfort without compromise, has become yet another suburban warning. The city that built for tomorrow's income is now collapsing under today's reality. Its sleek modern facades hide a painful truth. The future came too fast, and it's no longer paying for itself.
Number 6. San Clemente. San Clemente, the surfside jewel of Orange County, where red-tiled roofs meet turquoise water, is watching its housing wave crash. For decades, this was the dream: ocean view estates, Mediterranean-style villas, and a lifestyle that promised peace and prestige. But by 2025, that perfection has fractured. Home prices that once soared are sliding fast. Ocean view properties that fetched $2.5 million now linger at $1.9 million, sometimes even less. The culprit isn't demand, it's sustainability. Flood zone changes, new coastal insurance requirements, and rising maintenance costs have gutted the market. Insurers are either pulling out entirely or charging 5 figures for basic coverage. Even homeowners who've lived here for decades are reconsidering whether staying by the sea is worth the strain. Maintenance and utility bills tell the story best. Average power costs for large coastal homes now exceed $1,000 a month, and landscaping restrictions have driven up upkeep even further. Property taxes continue to climb, and many retirees, the very demographic that fueled San Clemente's growth, are cashing out, heading east to states like Arizona or Idaho. The second home market, once a pillar of San Clemente's wealth, is evaporating. Remote workers who bought here for lifestyle now find the costs unsustainable. Short-term rentals have collapsed under new regulations, leaving investors desperate to sell. Realtors call it the coastal freeze. The sun still shines, the surf still rolls, but the phone lines are quiet. Sellers drop prices weekly, hoping to lure cautious buyers who never come. San Clemente's fall proves a painful truth. Even paradise comes with a price tag, and now that price is too high to pay. The California coast isn't losing its beauty, it's losing its believers.
Number 5. Santa Clarita. At number 5, Santa Clarita, the crown jewel of family life north of Los Angeles, is seeing its suburban shine fade faster than anyone expected. For years, this was the model of middle-class success. Clean parks, award-winning schools, and rows of new homes built for a generation chasing stability. During the pandemic, that dream skyrocketed. Families fled LA's chaos and poured into Santa Clarita's master-planned neighborhoods, sending home prices up nearly 50% between 2020 and 2022. But the higher it climbed, the harder the fall. By 2025, median home prices have dropped 15% in just 12 months. In Valencia and Stevenson Ranch, for sale signs stretch endlessly down suburban streets. Builders slash prices, but appraisals can't keep up. Buyers who went under contract at the peak are now walking away, unwilling to overpay for depreciating homes. The reasons are painfully clear. Insurance rates are up more than 60% after wildfire zone expansions. Property taxes are higher than ever, and HOA fees, some topping $400 a month, now rival car payments. The total cost of ownership has jumped nearly 40% since 2021, pushing many families to the brink. Even local small businesses, coffee shops, daycare centers, and auto repair shops report fewer customers as residents cut back. The once bustling weekends at Town Center now feel subdued. And perhaps most heartbreaking, the emotional toll is setting in. Families who thought they found their forever home in 2021 are suddenly underwater, their savings gone and their confidence shattered. Santa Clarita sold itself as safety, the suburban fortress against chaos. But in 2025, that fortress is cracking. Behind those pristine lawns and cul-de-sacs, stress has replaced serenity. Stability has become a slogan, not a reality.
Number 4. Pleasant. Pleasanton's manicured perfection once defined East Bay wealth. Wide streets, golf course views, and gated communities where prosperity was measured in Teslas and tuition checks. But in 2025, that perfection is losing its value. Prices have dropped nearly 16%, and sales volume has cratered by almost half. The same tech layoffs that started in San Francisco have now crept eastward, hollowing out Pleasanton's high-income stability. Companies that once anchored the Tri-Valley corridor have paused hiring or pulled back entirely, leaving even affluent professionals uneasy. In Ruby Hill and Vintage Hills, million-dollar listings now linger for months. Realtors say homes that once sold after a single weekend of showings now sit through season after season. Fewer cash buyers, tighter lending, and skyrocketing mortgage rates have frozen the upper tier of the market. And for those still holding on, the pressure is mounting. $9,000 a month mortgage payments, $20,000 in property taxes, and shrinking annual bonuses have squeezed families who once seemed untouchable. Private school tuition, once a given, has become a question mark. Some owners are quietly renting out parts of their homes just to manage rising costs. Local agents describe a new kind of fatigue, not panic, but quiet resignation. For sale signs stand like trophies of optimism that no one's claiming. Open houses that once overflowed with tech wealth and luxury cars now attract whispers and hesitation. Pleasanton's fall isn't about failure, it's about exhaustion. Even wealth has a breaking point, and in 2025, the city that once stood as a symbol of achievement is learning that perfection comes with a price.
Number 3, Irvine. Irvine, the carefully engineered suburb that once defined Southern California's idea of order, is unraveling. For years, it was the gold standard of suburban living. Immaculate streets, top-rated schools, and homes that seemed immune to downturns. But in 2025, the tide has turned sharply. Median home prices have fallen 11%, condo sales are down 40%, and international buyers, once accounting for nearly 40% of Irvine's transactions, have all but disappeared. The reasons are layered. Tech layoffs across Southern California have gutted the city's professional buyer base, while new international capital restrictions have dried up the foreign money that once propped up the luxury market. Developers are in damage control mode, offering mortgage buydowns, Tesla credits, and closing cost coverage just to move units. Yet even with those incentives, entire blocks of new construction sit half empty. Buyers simply can't keep up with costs. HOA dues averaging $500 a month, insurance premiums rising 25% a year, and mortgage rates hovering near 7%. For middle-class families, the dream of Irvine homeownership now borders on impossible. Many are fleeing to cheaper inland empire markets like Corona or Murrieta. Schools remain excellent, the landscaping immaculate, but behind that order lies chaos. Real estate agents say the mood has shifted from pride to pressure. Homes in Turtle Rock and Woodbury that once sparked bidding wars now see lowball offers, if any. Rental demand has softened too, with luxury apartments slashing prices to attract tenants who once would have bought. For decades, Irvine symbolized control, a city where everything was designed, predictable, and perfect. But in 2025, that perfection has turned brittle. The stucco walls still shine, but the confidence behind them is cracking.
Number 2, San Ramon. At number 2, San Ramon, the East Bay's polished suburban gem, is cracking under the weight of its own success. Once fueled by the corporate energy of Chevron and the sleek developments of Bishop Ranch, San Ramon became a blueprint for modern suburbia. Tech jobs, safe neighborhoods, and luxury homes perched above the valley. But the same forces that built it are now tearing it apart. Home prices have fallen 17% from their 2022 peak, and inventory has doubled. High-end properties in Gale Ranch and Windermere that once drew multiple offers now sit unsold for months, with prices slashed by $200,000 or more. Even cash buyers are hesitating. Corporate relocations have slowed, tech layoffs have thinned the buyer pool, and the remote work boom that once filled San Ramon's cul-de-sacs has fizzled. Families that stretched for $2 million mortgages in 2021 are struggling under the pressure of $9,500 monthly payments, not including property taxes or HOA fees. And the sentiment is shifting fast. Local cafes that once buzzed with energy now echo with worry.
Realtors whisper about shadow listings, homeowners trying to sell quietly before prices fall further. The city's biggest strength, its connection to Silicon Valley, has become its greatest vulnerability. With bonuses gone and salaries tightening, even dual-income tech households are scaling back. San Ramon's beauty remains undeniable. Clean, green, and picture-perfect. But beneath that surface, a quiet reckoning is underway. The suburb that embodied Silicon Valley's promise is now a cautionary tale of its excess. Beautiful, brilliant, breaking.
Number 1. Santa Rosa. And at number 1, Santa Rosa, the city that refused to give up, is finally running out of breath. After surviving wildfire after wildfire, Santa Rosa's housing market became one of California's great comeback stories. Entire neighborhoods rebuilt from ashes, communities pulled together, prices soared on hope and resilience. But in 2025, that hope is fading fast. Home values are down nearly 19%. Insurance premiums have doubled. And the state's FAIR Plan, the last resort insurer, now covers 1 in 5 homes. The result is a market where costs are rising even as values collapse. Newly rebuilt properties that once symbolized triumph now sit unsold for over 200 days. Sellers slash hundreds of thousands, but buyers stay away, paralyzed by fear of risk, regulation, and another fire season. The emotional fatigue is overwhelming. People are tired, one agent said. They've rebuilt twice. They just can't do it again. Insurance is the breaking point. Many carriers have pulled out of Sonoma County entirely, leaving homeowners with bare-bones coverage that costs triple what it did 3 years ago. Add property taxes and rising utility rates, and even the well-off are reconsidering whether to stay. The wine country charm is still there, rolling vineyards, golden sunsets, and quaint downtown cafes. But behind that beauty is exhaustion. Entire neighborhoods that once symbolized recovery now stand frozen, trapped between pride and practicality. Santa Rosa's fall isn't just financial, it's emotional. A community that's rebuilt more than once is learning that not all storms come from the sky. Some come from the slow, relentless weight of survival. And this time, even resilience may not be enough.
California's suburbs were supposed to be safe, the antidote to urban chaos, the reward for working hard, the final stop on the American dream. But in 2025, even the safest zip codes are bleeding. From San Ramon to Santa Rosa, from the surf of San Clemente to the sprawl of Santa Clarita, the numbers tell the same story. The bubble didn't just burst in the cities. It's bursting everywhere. This is Discover the Nation. Subscribe now, because the housing collapse isn't just coming for the coast. It's already at the cul-de-sac.